Live once again. I guess I'll finish that in a little bit. I'm just gonna go ahead and start packing my stuff. Literally just got home, so hold on. Unpacked yet? Need to get all my stuff unpacked, and then we'll get started. I think I'll work on that BNSD40-2 pretty soon. So I'm gonna use some of these brushes right here. Unfortunately, I can't do any masking because I'm out of masking tape. It's right there. So we're on masking tape again. I'm just gonna wait for, you know. There we go. All right, well. Next card we're gonna be working on is just doing final preparations for the Austin Train Show. It's tomorrow, so just doing our final preparations. I will be live tomorrow, early in the morning. It's gonna be an early morning live stream. Just gonna be showing a little bit of the train show, but not the whole event. Just walk around, but yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and set this bottle paint right here. Just some plain black. Just the workbench. Layout is that way. I'm at the computer currently. It's probably a good idea to actually grab the other phone real quick. I'm gonna grab my other phone. That way I can get real photos up. The photos I'm actually using. Let me see here. I have photos of the piece I'm doing. There we go. All right. So, now with real photos, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just following instructions that I have written down by a friend. Friend wrote down instructions after this, so I'm just... They are. By the way, chat, guess what? I'll be getting some more tomorrow. Tomorrow will be, getting a haul of model trains. The amount, I do not know. But I can guarantee, I can guarantee to you all that I am getting some more. Stay tuned for that. I'll have them tomorrow. Because I'm actually getting this stuff in person. Not just, online. I'm gonna have it physically. I'm gonna have these models, physically tomorrow. So. Okay, I made the other eye too big. And it's in the wrong location, too. Somehow I made to put it in the wrong location. That is not nice. That is not nice. I'm not gonna say too much. I'm just gonna say that is not nice. That's not nice. That's not nice. Please don't. Please don't. I don't have an official tripod. There's no official tripod yet. It's literally balanced on a mason jar, and the thing I use for paint. If I move the camera, that's literally what this is how the camera balanced. Phone sits right here, so it's not gonna stay there. That's why the camera falls. That's not the first time anyway. That's not the first time the cameras fell. Yeah, that's just how I talk, by the way. Because I'm trying not to be too loud, because I'm not the only one here. Yeah. Probably gonna do a touch-up of just this paint. Just do a quick touch-up on that. And then finish up the piece I'm doing here, because I have a few other pieces to do. Let's see here. I guess I'm grabbing the other Sharpie because I come off the. If I can find it. Sorry, everything's not really sorted right now. Everything's kind of chaotic if you can't tell already. Yeah, everything's kind of mediocre right now, so that's just how it is right now. Of course, everything will get moved around and fixed. But for now, it's, you know, it's a work in progress. That's honestly good enough for what I'm, you know. Attempting to remake. Okay, it's a little too much paint. It's hard for y'all to see. Let's see if I can zoom in on what I'm working on. There you go. There we go. Looks a little weird right now. It's also because it's not on a. It's not on a. You know, it's not on a flat surface. It's fine. In all honesty, it works. Yeah, y'all can see. I'm just working on this cover topper. Trying to get this artwork finished because I don't have a lot of time to get this done. I only have tonight. And it's like just about 6 o'clock. Let me see. Yeah, 6:02. Train shows tomorrow, so. There we go. I think I forgot to do something. I don't know. Again, this is all hand painted, by the way. I'm not using, I'm not using paint pens for this. I'm actually hand painting this. So everything you see here is hand painted. Let me see if any of this. Just realized I missed that. So I'm just going back and, even though this is not the exact color, it's close enough. It's actually, the hair is actually a little bit lighter in color, in blue. It's a slightly lighter blue. But on camera, it looks accurate. But yeah, this is a really fun piece to do. Took me a few days. Because the result of the days I didn't work on this. I tend to switch back and forth between cars. Yeah, y'all can see. Tilt the car up. It's close enough. Yeah, I might. Oh. I'm gonna go ahead and, it's basically done. I'm just gonna tweak a few things real quick. So yeah, give me 1 second while I attempt to position the camera. There y'all go, right there. All right. Now, the camera now pointed where I'd like it. me see here. I'll go ahead and fix that real quick. You know, I'll touch that up in a little bit. Y'all can kind of see where I messed up there. But I'll fix that up once we're basically done doing a basic outline. About the outline of the eyes here. I mean, you don't really have to too much talent with this. Just paint. You don't have to have, you don't need talent to do this. I'm just redoing the nose real quick. I think that already done drying, so go ahead and just do a little paint touch-ups. And all I'm doing is touching up paint. Just fixing up the paint. Yeah. Just trying to perfect some stuff. It's not going to be perfect on par with other people's art, but it will definitely be close enough. I think I'm going to use a different brush to do this. Yeah, that one's good. Yeah, I'm going to probably take a look at this one real quick. Nah, this one's pretty good. This is a pretty good brush. Although the tip is really long. Yeah, you all can see that right there. The tip is really fine too, so. We'll just use that. There we go. Just like that. Just gonna do some paint touch-ups real quick. Just gonna do a few paint touch-ups. Because I just want to get this, you know. As nice as possible. Yeah, just like that. This piece is pretty much done. It's just about, that's good enough to call it good. So now, we'll go ahead and put this away. Go ahead and move my phone because this next box I'm going to need a lot of room for. So, I got this in the mail the other day. It's just a Burlington Northern SD40-2 8090. It's got the Q bands on the back. One of the rare pieces. Well, not as rare as the LTEX SD45. Yeah, geez, kind of see. I kind of put that together. It's kind of in a rush to cut out. That's why. Anyways, go ahead and shift the camera over. See if I can move that. All right. Go ahead and put the ball on the side. I'm gonna do this by hand, just so I don't accidentally slice these handrails. Because I am gonna keep the handrails, even though they're The handrails might be, you know, a little terrible, you know, in terms of quality. I'm also gonna take this parts bag out. Because I'm going to use that in a little bit. No, this is not a LTEX lease unit. This is going to be a First Union Rail SD40-2 for First Union Rail. A little bit about the locomotive itself. It's DCC ready. Yeah. It's from the 2007 release. I'll have to repair the front handrails. The front handrails, you can see it damaged. That's my fault. Did not come in the box like that. There we go. I'm just putting the handrails in the box. I'm just putting the parts, in the box. Some of the parts in the box because I don't want to lose these parts, especially the couplers and coupler box and screws. Although I think the coupler pockets, coupler box itself, I can probably replace that with Katie if I lose it. I don't know. But it's preferable if I, don't lose it. Anyways, I'll go ahead and take out the lights. Let me see. Where's my screwdriver at? Ah, there it is. I'm also going to unscrew the fuel tank from the... Unscrew the fuel tank from the chassis because I want to do some work on that. I'm going to go ahead and set the chassis aside. I'm just going to set that aside. Probably do some separate work on that. As well as the shell. We'll do some work on that in a little bit. So I just need to go to photos here. I've luckily uploaded this to Discord. I'll put a link down probably in a little bit. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and detail up this fuel tank. It's just a, you know, it's the fuel tank, it's easy to detail. I've also done some light weathering to this already. So, yeah. Fuel tank has received a light amount of detail. Well, light amount of weathering, I could say. See here, I'll go and grab the styrene I dropped earlier. Before I start stream, I was gonna set the parts bag right here. We will use that in a minute. We will install some fuel tank details. But right off the bat, you can see there's a little box on the fuel tank. A little box right there. Also, there's a speed recorder. We'll probably add that. I'll add that after the train show. I'm not going to quite add that yet. Also, I plan on getting a decoder at the train show, so that's also another thing. But this is going to be leading with the. Might be leading. It also might be trailing with my SP unit. Or not the SP unit, the LTEX unit. If y'all don't know already, I worked on a separate locomotive. For those who are uninitiated, I worked on another LTEX. Well, I have two LTEX units, but one of them being 6797. That one's received some work. It's almost done. Just needs a bit more detail work, some decal work. But it's going to be leading. It's also going to need some work with the lights. I'm going to have to work on the lights in a little bit, or at some point. Yeah, these locomotives are going to retain their incandescent bulbs. Despite the amount I actually hate them, because they're dim. They're fairly dim, all the box. So here, I'll be right back. Just gonna take a small break. Small intermission. You know, grab some water, grab snacks. You know, give you all a minute. So Alright, y'all, I'm back. Oh, sorry about that. There it is. Alright. Yeah, sorry about that, y'all. It took me a minute. So y'all can see right there we got that box installed. See if I can get a back view for the fuel tank. There appears to not be a waste retention tank, which is interesting. It's also got the correct style bell. It's on the chassis. That's where it's at. But it's got the correct style bell. You can see right there, it's got the pneumatic bell right there. So that's correct. That bell is correct for the loco we're modeling. We're gonna go ahead and pull out the detail parts bag. There's a little baggie of fuel tank parts. So looks like we got some spare fuel pipes. So that's a plus. correct part for this. I'm just going to modify this part because if y'all look up the prototype 7279, the breather pipe is slightly shorter, so we're just going to do some styrene modifications. Not styrene modification. We're just going to modify the part that's supplied in the bag of parts. They give you a little parts baggie. Whenever you buy the model, you know. We're also going to work on the nose a little bit, probably. We'll also work on the cab roof. I'm going to swap this detail part out. I'm also going to modify it again. Hi, Ethan. Yeah, I saw it. Since I'm not using a computer, it didn't work. Sadly, it's like you have to be on a computer or something like that. Yeah. Honestly annoyed that it didn't work. But yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, since I'm using my phone for Discord, I don't use like a monitor. But regardless of whether it worked or not, thank you. Anyways, so we're currently working on this SD40-2. It's going to be a first Union Rail locomotive. That's the main reason why I bought this locomotive, was to model first Union Rail SD40. I wanted to model one of these for some time. Now I'm modeling one. In this case, it's going to be FURX 7279. see here. I'm trying to see where that brake chain is attached to on the lead truck. On the lead truck, on the third axle, it's between the second and third axle on the lead truck. And it's this case with most SD40s and SD40-2s, where there's a kind of brake chain that's kind of attached right here. And it runs underneath the locomotive. So I'm gonna see how that's attached. See about modeling that after the train show. I highly doubt I'm gonna get that in before, but let me see here. There we go. So looking at prototype photos, there's a little like breather pipe right here. Except most of the time, like, I'll go ahead and grab the SD70 here. Show you what I mean. Most of the time, the breather pipe will extend to the bottom of the fuel tank. Again, I've seen, like, per se, well, this one got bent up. There we go. You can see right through that breather pipe. However, on FURX 7279, you'll see it doesn't fully extend down. So, using one of the many pipes and hoses, it's applied in a bag. I was able to replicate that. Just using one of the parts applied. So, now we're going to go ahead and weather up the fuel tank. I'm going to start off with a just basic run of dark brown paint. Then I'll do some basic weathering. The weathering on these fuel tanks is kind of basic. Once you actually master that, hi, Rocket. Looks like my dog's joining me. Hi, bud. Good boy. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these away, since I don't need them right now. But hi, bud. Love you, bud. Hey, Rocket, are you a good boy? Yep, he's a good boy. Cat, my dog is right here. He's a little off screen, but he's like right that way. He's off screen, but he's there. He's present. What you do just standing there? He's just standing there. Okay, now he's actually moving around. Rocket, whatever you do, don't destroy stuff. I don't want to kick you out, bud. I don't want to kick you out. Okay, well, he left, so. Where did that paintbrush go? I have a specific paintbrush I use for weathering the fuel tank. Sorta. There it is. Let me just move this parts bag. Actually, I'm gonna paint this part. I'm not gonna be lazy and leave that unpainted. I'm actually gonna blend that in with the rest of the engine, the fuel tank. I'm not gonna be lazy and just leave that unpainted. Take some black acrylic. There we go. It's like a control box or something like that. I had to add that using styrene. Yeah. Y'all can see that right there. Yeah, y'all can see that right there. We'll also work on the nose in a little bit, probably. I still have to remove the class lights and other details that don't exist on this particular locomotive, anyway. Hello. Yeah, we're currently working on FURX 7279. See right there. Already got it patched the other night. I managed to get this patched the other night. I just need to get the BN logo patched out. Just don't have the correct style green yet, so I'll have to get that. And I'll have to remove the class lights. The class lights need to be removed entirely. Also, it's got the correct style. Exhaust. The exhaust is of the correct style. Because whenever looking at prototype photos, you can see right there that exhaust. And most importantly, one of the more important things is it's got the correct style fans. It's got the correct style Q fans. So it's honestly perfect. But yeah, it's got the Q fans. You can see right there. It's got metal fans. This is after an RTR model, after all. You can see the box sitting in the background. I have the box in the background. Anyways. Nice. I got a BNSF B40-8. It's Walther's train line for free because it was broken. It was just broken. The motor was, but I converted it into a dummy unit and it rolls fine. In this case, it was used. One of my friends gave me his Norfolk Southern auto rack because he didn't want it. He didn't really want it, so. Yeah. see here. When I'm modeling, I think it's 591. All right. Yeah, it's 591. Currently sitting in this box right here. Yeah, 591 is in its box. I'm honestly probably going to end up doing multiple streams, just so I can take a break, you know. So I'm probably going to end stream probably in a few. Take a break. Rocket. My dog's wreaking havoc. I'm gonna have to go and... Oh, there he is. Okay, he's not anymore. He was, like a minute ago. But yeah, y'all can see it there. I've done some basic fuel tank work. I'm gonna go ahead and just end stream here. I'm gonna be live probably 30 minutes to an hour. Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna take a break. I'll be back in like 30 minutes to an hour, maybe more, depending on how long of a break I'm gonna actually take. But yeah. But this is not the end of stream. This is not the end of. This is not the only stream today. I'm doing a few other streams. Just taking a break. Anyways, hope y'all enjoyed this live stream. Please like and subscribe. As always, this is BNSF 3815 out.